we're first-time founders. We're in our early 20s. Like, we don't know anything about building a business. And we apply to Y Combinator. And funnily enough, we end up getting in.
What doors did YC open up for you guys?
Before Y Combinator, we were reaching out to like hundreds of investors every day. No one was responding to us. After YC, the tables turned and investors were coming to us.
You guys have now passed over 1 million users. I'm not sure what the exact...
3 million.
Okay, wow.
We're at 1% of the US population. Investors always told us we'll never be able to compete against Robinhood and Fidelity.
You closed a $10 million Series A led by Play Ventures. How did you guys approach even like building a network of investors and getting meetings?
So much of fundraising today can be done online and over Zoom. Like, our lead investors are based in Singapore. We didn't meet them in person until after they like wired us that $10 million, right? They like bet on us through Zoom videos, through investment committees over Zoom.
For anyone that wants to get started investing today, what advice would you have for them? I'm Ruffin, and this is Bridge Club, the girls' club of venture capital, bringing you into the rooms where deals actually happen. Today's guest is Eve Halimi. She's the co-founder and co-CEO of Alinea Invest, an investment platform designed for the next generation of wealth builders. After interning at Goldman Sachs, Eve and her co-founder Anam recognized the need for a female-focused investing app to guide women on making investments and managing their wealth. Alinea Invest was one of my first angel investments, and it's been so much fun supporting this team on their crazy rise. In today's episode, we're covering everything from their journey from hundreds of VC rejections to Y Combinator to raising a $10 million Series A, the exact content strategy they've used to scale to over 1 million users, and how true founder market fit allowed Alinea Invest to build an investing app that actually serves Gen Z women. So without further ado, here's my conversation with Eve. And remember, if you like this week's episode, make sure to like and subscribe so I can share more conversations just like this. This episode is brought to you by Vanta. If you're a founder or investor, you know startups move incredibly fast, and especially so in this era of AI. Startups in my portfolio are attracting enterprise customers much earlier in their life cycles. But these enterprise opportunities come with compliance requirements. So working with Vanta can literally make or break 6- and 7-figure deals. Vanta automates the painful parts of compliance like SOC 2, ISO 27001, HIPAA, and other frameworks so you can focus on building instead of drowning in audit paperwork. With AI changing regulations and buyers' expectations, Vanta continuously monitors your compliance so future deals are never blocked. Vanta knows what's needed and when, and they've built the fastest, easiest path to get you there. That's why fast-growing companies like Ramp and Cursor get in compliance early with Vanta. And right now, Vanta is offering $1,000 off for Bridge Club viewers. If you're building something for enterprise customers, go to vanta.com/Ruffin or check out the link in the description. And huge thank you to Vanta for this partnership. Eve, welcome to Bridge Club.
Thank you. So excited to be here.
I should actually say welcome back because you were my OG guest back in the day when I was filming things on Zoom, which is hilarious to think back on. So excited to have you back here.
In person.
Yes, finally in person. We've only known each other over the internet for so many years, which is crazy. And Alinea Invest was one of my first angel investments, and I've loved being like a small part of your guys' journey, and you guys have just absolutely crushed it. So excited to share.
But also a small part, but a big part, because you're one of your videos or one of the content that you shared with us has been like a sort of format that helped us scale the business and get a lot of users.
Yes. Yeah. Working with you guys on content strategy really like opened my eyes to like, wow, this is some of the value I can add to working with companies. So we'll talk all about your content strategy later today. I'm excited to touch on that. So take us back to the very beginning. You actually started Alinea Invest in a college classroom. So how did you and Anam come up with the original idea for Alinea Invest?
Yeah, great question. So Anam and I were both studying economics at Barnard. We had taken a ton of classes together. And then our senior year, we both came back from interning on Wall Street. And we had some money on the side. We just didn't know what to do with it. We downloaded a bunch of the investing apps from the Robinhood to the E-Trade to the Fidelities. We just didn't like the experience. We didn't know what to do. We didn't feel like there was any hand-holding, any guidance. And then the experiences were very gamified and like very intense. So we started talking to a lot of our friends, and we noticed that a lot of our girlfriends especially and peers weren't investing their money even though they had some money on the side. We started getting obsessed with this problem around investing. Why are people not investing more money? Especially, we were seeing a lot of our male friends investing at a much younger age, more consistently, they were way more risk taking. And so we started, writing a 100-page business proposal for the idea behind Alinea. Alinea is a Latin word. It means to indent to a new paragraph. It was about creating a new chapter in the world of money that was more accessible, more friendly, easier. And it's still the case today. I mean, we were speaking to a customer yesterday and she was saying like, I would describe Alinea as like an easy, friendly investing app that like guides me through my investing journey. And that's what we've been working on for the last, I want to say like 7+ years.
Yeah, I never knew the meaning around the name Alinea Invest. So fun to hear that. So tell us, like, how did you take it from, your 100-page business plan to an actual product? Because I think a lot of people, go to business school or are in college and have this business plan or idea, but they don't actually take it to actual product. So what did it take to go from an idea on paper to a physical product?
Yeah. It was funny because especially like in New York, no one was doing startups back in the day before COVID.
They were not.
No one. They were
That's
all
why I
going
moved to
into-
California because
Exactly.
literally nothing was happening here and now everything is happening here.
So if we were to tell our families or our friends that we were like finishing school and starting a company, everyone would have thought we were crazy. We went on to our full-time jobs for about 1.5 years. But what was happening during that time is like every Saturday, Anam and I would meet up and work behind the scenes on Alinea. And instead of going to, brunch with our friends, we were really like sitting down and for hours working on Alinea, doing research, talking to customers. And then COVID hits. And that was actually a time when we got the chance to basically start Alinea for real. And Anam starts Googling like how to start a business, how to start a company. And she comes across Y Combinator. She calls me up one night and she goes, have you heard of Y Combinator? I'm like, no, what's that? Like no one knew about Y Combinator in New York. And so she's like, we have to do this program. Like we're first-time founders. We're in our early 20s. Like we don't know anything about building a business. Like this is the thing we have to do. I started watching a bunch of videos of Michael Seibel and we apply to Y Combinator. And funnily enough, we get the interview and the first person we see is Michael Seibel. We're freaking out. We're like, this is like a celebrity. And the interview is super intense. It's like 10 minutes of like rapid fire questions. You have a few seconds to answer every question. And we end up getting in, which was the craziest thing. And so it was really just an idea at the time. And that's when we quit our jobs and we went full time on Alinea.
YC gets like thousands of applications. I think they take maybe like 1 or 1.5% of applicants, like something like crazy difficult to break through the noise. So tell us more about like what was your application? What did it look like? How did you guys stand out in that process?
Yeah, the thing that stood out for Y Combinator was the founder market fit. And they could catch that with Anam and I from the beginning. It was that personal pain point that we felt, like they could feel it in our answers, in the way that we were going to compete against Robinhood. And Seibel always says like he backs founder market fit. Like he could see the problem and he could see the passion. The partners at YC know that like you'll iterate 1,000,000 times before finding product market fit. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a long journey before things start working. You have to have so much passion for what you're doing to withstand these like first few years of hardship.
Yeah. And I definitely clearly saw the founder market fit in you guys when I first met you. So comes through very strong. What doors did YC open up for you guys?
Yeah, it was like getting into Harvard.
I mean, it truly is. I think it might be more difficult than getting into Harvard.
It was amazing. It was like the stamp of approval for the first time. Before Y Combinator, we were reaching out to like hundreds of investors every day. No one was responding to us. After YC, the tables turned and investors were coming to us. And we were getting hundreds of emails from investors to invest in the business. We were getting people who applied to have a job at Alinea. We were just getting so much more traction. And being in that program for 3.5 months was insane. I mean, it was like the most intense 3 months of my life. And it's the most incredible thing. It feels like you're in startup boot camp. And you're just like moving at a crazy pace.
Yeah. So when you launched Alinea, you really started as a robo-advisor, but can you talk about how the product has evolved over time? And we were chatting a little bit about this before the show, but tell us like how AI is really evolving and like how you're adapting and changing the product with those rapidly coming changes.
We actually had 2 years of iterating on the product before finding something that worked. And we started with social investing and climate scores for, like, we had ESG investing and climate impact investing. And it worked, like, it was good, but it wasn't as good as what we have today. And what we figured out is that 2 years in, we were running out of money. We didn't have the traction we wanted to have. And so we went back and we looked at the user pain point. We really focused at the user pain point, and it was, I don't know what to invest in. I don't know how much to invest. So we redid the entire onboarding of the app and focused on funneling people into that robo-advisor and telling them exactly how much to invest every month, putting them on a recurring investment and giving them a portfolio to invest in. And once we did that, we went from like zero basically in revenue to 80,000 in the first month. And that was a huge unlock for us. And it was like offering that hand holding and personalization. And today we are able to move at such a faster rate, and we are able to provide way more personalization with AI. And so we've built out AI Ally, who's like that financial companion, that financial bestie who guides you along the way. And she's going to give you like exactly how much you should be investing every week. She's going to tell you, hey, you just got your bonus, like you should be investing it. You just got your paycheck. This is how much you have in your checking account. Like, she's going to be giving you more and more personalized insights and advice on your journey.
Love this. So let's talk about your growth, because you guys have now passed over 1 million users. I'm not sure what the exact
3 million.
Okay, wow.
We're at 1% of the US population.
That was the last public number I could find, but that is wild. So talk about how you guys built community early on, and then how you kind of scaled that through content and organic reach on socials.
So I guess phase one of community was through campus ambassador programs. So we started on campuses, kind of like how Bumble started. We had these ambassadors. We were going to schools to give talks. We were partnering with school clubs, sororities. And that's how we got our first, like, I want to say 100,000 users. And then we figured out TikTok.
Yes, you did. In a big way.
In a big way. And what was interesting is actually we were talking to another founder, and so this is entering phase two. Phase two is like scale or growth, I want to say. And we started an Anam and Eve account.
Yes.
Instead of just an Alinea Invest account. It was like a founder-led account. And we started posting videos and we started sharing our story. And actually our first story video got to 500,000 views.
I remember this video like very clearly.
It was so catchy and it looped. It was like a 60-second long video. And we, in one day, just got like 50,000 downloads from that video, and so many new accounts, and people were investing money. And so we were like, wow, okay, this is a way to reach people at a much faster scale, and for us to get the word out there like way faster. And so we started responding to comments on videos. We started making a lot more content, and that's how we grew the account, the Anam and Eve account, to like millions and millions of views. You helped us with so much content, and we cracked different content themes and content buckets. And then I want to say phase 3 was performance marketing. And that's helped us reach a whole new scale of people, even a whole new demographic of people. So our audience our TAM has expanded tremendously, and we've been able to reach new user segments that we never thought we were able to reach before.
Yeah. So I get this question all the time, because I think so many founders now especially know they have to be on socials. A few years ago when you guys started, like, you were really kind of like paving that path. So how would you get started on social if you were trying to as a founder today?
If I was a founder, I'd start a founder page. Like the reach you'll have as a founder is so much higher than a business page, and people really want to follow the founders and the stories behind the founders over just the businesses. So start a founder page and start sharing your story, start responding to comments, start building community. It's the best time to be building in public. It's the best time to be sharing. People love to see entrepreneurs behind the scenes, their life stories. So get on camera, don't be shy, like try 100 videos before your first one will work, and just like it's more shots on goal. Like you just have to keep trying, keep doing. We were posting 3 videos a day.
Yeah.
That's what
in the early days.
Yeah.
Because you just have to figure out like what message is resonating with people. And I think your original video on the Eve and Anam page that did so well was you guys just authentically telling your story about the two of you quitting Goldman Sachs, quitting Citi, and then how you started Alinea like in your college classroom and then got rejected by all these VCs and then went to Y Combinator. And I think that resonated with so many people, and then that blew up. And then from there, again, I feel like there was different content buckets. The one we worked on was like a very short form video of like showing people the math behind how investing works. And I think that one video, I mean, I think it hit maybe like 12 million views or like something really, really wild. And then it sounds like through that, you guys kind of started putting paid dollars behind some of these more organic posts, and then we're able to like really
So a new content bucket that worked post the math. We call it text overlay. Videos of us drinking coffee. It's explainers. So we do 15 to 30-second long videos with a hook and then explaining what the product does and then a call to action at the end. And those do really, really well for us as well.
So in the beginning, obviously you guys were very much behind the content engine, but how have you thought about like evolving that over time? Because obviously you have a lot going on. You can't be like filming videos all the time. So how have you like actually scaled the content engine?
It's been hard. It's been hard to like take a step back. We had to hire people, and it's like hiring, firing, like figuring out who the right people are. And now the next phase for us is influencers. It's going to be like working with thousands of influencers to figure out like who can explain the product the best, who can come up with the best ideas, and influencers is going to help us reach a whole new market.
So you're in consumer fintech, which I think at the time, a lot of investors, especially when you were probably raising your seed early rounds of funding, were like, this is a very saturated space. Like, there's no way you can break out here. I think a lot of investors probably would have said that to you. So what white space did you guys really see? And how do you think you have been able to really break through?
It's still a case. Every time we talk to investors, they're like, it's so saturated. You'll never be able to compete against Robinhood. That was also part of our video pitch. Investors always told us we'll never be able to compete against Robinhood and Fidelity. Look, I think the market is so massive. Even today, like we thought that we first went out and tried to help young women start investing. Then it broadened to like just the female audience generally. Like now the user base we've been getting over the last few months are 40-year-old males that are construction workers, chefs, lawyers, people in the healthcare industry. We're getting nurses. There is a massive market of people who don't know anything about the stock market, who don't know how to invest in stocks, who want help, who don't have the time to manage their money. When they get on Robinhood, they don't know what to do. It still feels like more for active traders and we are for investors. And that's how we differentiate ourselves. That's how we find a white space. We're still for first-time investors and for people who are coming of wealth and who just don't know what to do with that money.
I mean, I think in the early days, maybe like 90% of your users or like something crazy were Gen Z women. So how have you kind of like continued to tweak your messaging so you can reach, you know, maybe 40-year-old construction workers, just a broader like first-time investor?
You'd be surprised the Gen Z messaging attracts the 40-year-olds.
That is amazing.
They love it. They're like, we have to jump on this. The messaging that works so well for everyone is like I don't have time to manage my money. Like, let this app do it for you, and like sit back and just like let it do its work. Like everyone always tells us like we don't have the time to manage our money. We don't want to be like trading stocks. Like we just want a product that we can just put money in every week and you do it for us.
Yeah. And I feel like to your point, like on Robinhood, you like really kind of have to know what you are doing. Like there's not much hand holding on that product.
There's not much hand holding. Exactly.
So, and I think like the education and just the approachability of the messaging around Alinea Invest is like, this is intimidating. Like, let's educate you. Like just resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah. And the design, like our design is so user friendly. It's so beginner friendly. It feels so warm compared to like these other apps that are bar charts and red and green everywhere and feel overwhelming. Like ours are way more like pastel colors and like just calm, and people really like that.
Yeah. So you closed a $10 million Series A last year, led by Play Ventures. So tell us more about how you have approached fundraising and storytelling over the years, pitching investors who, you know, again, might have feedback like this is super saturated market, or, you know, they might just not resonate or understand kind of the vision for what you're building because they have a bunch of experience investing and just can't understand, that there is this huge demographic that does want a much more approachable product.
It's funny because it's true. You do have to pitch a ton of investors before you find the right person. And you just need to find that one yes. With Play Ventures, we got lucky with the Series A because they were one of the first investors we talked to. And right away we clicked. Like they saw the need for this product. They saw the potential for it to scale. And like, it's been amazing working with them. Like they have been the best supporters, the best backers. Like they're just incredible. Like they've really helped us accelerate like the business. I want to say we like 10x'd our revenue in 1 year. And it's a lot because of Play. And because they saw this potential. Like every other VC we were talking to was like, it's a saturated market. You'll never be able to grow. CACs are only going to go up. And they were like, no, like, let's do this.
Can you share more around like what you mean around that? Like outside of capital, how have some of not only Play Ventures, but other investors, how have they really supported the team?
Yeah. So one of the things that Play Ventures helped us with is cohort financing, for example. So we have been using a user acquisition financing engine to fuel our growth. And it's allowed us to not use our equity, the money that we raise for equity, to fuel the growth. And so it also allows us to extend runway. So we don't have to go and raise anytime soon. Basically, we are based cash flow positive / like break even every month because of this. And that's been a huge hack for us to accelerate the business. So that's one of the ways that they've really helped us. They help us with hiring. Investors have helped us with content. Yeah, new tools new AI tools. Some of the investors that invested in some AI tools that weren't publicly out there yet, like we've been able to leverage in-house first. And so even on the creative front, there's so many tools that we've been using. And I want to say as well, like the community of portcos that we've been able to meet through the investors that we have been so helpful.
So obviously before the Series A, when you first got started, to your point, like there wasn't that much in the startup space happening in New York. So how did you guys approach even like building a network of investors and getting meetings with folks in the beginning?
Yeah. So post-COVID, actually, a big shift happened. Investors started coming to New York. VC started having office spaces in New York. And so that was a big unlock for us. But also COVID allowed for entrepreneurs to be able to raise money over Zoom for the first time. Yeah, like we didn't have to go and meet. Like our lead investors are based in Singapore. We didn't meet them in person until after like wired us that $10 million, right? They like bet on us through Zoom videos, through investment committees over Zoom. And so much of fundraising today can be done online and over Zoom. And it's allowed entrepreneurs to basically move faster, like raise money faster. And it's really been amazing to have that flexibility.
I feel like so grateful for that shift because it is crazy. I think people would just have to take even intro in-person first meetings. And as you know, like you meet a lot of investors who say no. So that could be a huge suck and waste of time. Even meeting investors on Zoom can be a big waste of time, actually.
But it saves you on the commute.
Yeah. Exactly. So I did want to talk about the debt facility. I think that's super interesting. Did raising your Series A kind of unlock this? And I believe you guys raised about a $20 million debt facility to fuel marketing. So can you explain that a little bit more? Because I feel like not enough founders think about these alternative sources of capital that you can be using to fuel growth.
Yeah. So we didn't know about this before the Series A, and we wouldn't have been able to leverage it before raising a Series A as well. So once we closed that Series A, we started talking to a few cohort financing providers, and we fundraising, right? You get a few term sheets, they give you terms, and then you're going back and forth with a few of them, and then you end up working with the best partner. And we end up working with PVX, and they have been incredible to work with. So they put up 80% of our user acquisition spend every month, and then we pay them back basically. We pay them back a big chunk of the first month and then every other month. And so this allows us to not go and dilute ourselves more, right? It allows us to use they have to really look into your business and see if it makes sense for both parties. But once it does, like if it does work and if you have a consumer, a lot of the time it's subscription businesses. And if your paybacks are that you make over 100% in return on ad spend by month 12 or month 13, then you should definitely be exploring an option like that because you're not diluting yourself. It's so much easier to raise that capital. and it allows you to just go much faster.
So women are set to inherit something like 70% of the $124 trillion wealth transfer. So you guys are positioned in a great spot. So tell me a little bit more about how you guys are building Alinea Invest to be ready for this great wealth transfer.
Yeah, it's a great question. Something that we're constantly working on and thinking about. What we are doing is really doubling down on AI Ally. So we want to be able to provide that financial advice and financial companionship that an advisor, like a human advisor, would give you through the app. And so we're building towards this AI investing companion that thinks and acts for you. And when I say acts, we need it to be proactive. So it needs to, like, exactly like you said, like, I just inherited this money, like these triggers that just happen in your life, and they need to be pulling you back into the app and telling you exactly what to do with it. Because a lot of people will come back to us and say, hey, I have an extra $10,000 to invest. Where should I put it? And it's our job to tell them, to guide them basically on like where they should, how they should diversify that money, where they should put it. And that's what we're working towards.
Yeah. Have you seen any resistance to AI in your products?
No, like honestly, we're in the cycle of doing a lot of customer interviews right now. So everyone is like, I downloaded this product because the ads told me that this AI companion is going to help me invest. And one of the things we just launched, like one of the new product features we just launched, are Playlist Pro. So playlists are these custom indexes on the app where bundles of stocks based on a theme. And we launched 4 new playlists that are actively managed every 7 days. They're rebalanced. There's hedge fund, there's Claude, there's ChatGPT, and there is politicians. And I mean, the most popular one right now is hedge funds.
Wait, tell us more about what that is.
So it's an aggregate of a bunch of hedge fund trades. So there's Point72. There's Two Sigma. There's a few of them basically, and you press on one button and it invests through all of the hedge fund trades, like what they're investing in. But Claude is the second best, and Claude, people want to invest in like what Claude would recommend that you should invest every week. And there's like these AI portfolio recaps, and they love it. They're like, oh, an AI is investing for me, or an AI is thinking for me. Like give me more of that. Like I want to pay for that.
For anyone that wants to get started investing today, what advice would you have for them?
Get Alinea.
I love it. And where can they get Alinea?
On the App Store.
Amazing. Final question before we go into rapid fire. What is kind of the long-term future vision for Alinea Invest? What's coming up in like the next few years?
No one has built this so far, and no one has perfected it, and we are working towards it. It's the AI investing companion that thinks and acts for you. And like personalized to you. Like if Sarah has, for example, is on the app and she has student debt and she's a nurse and she's making X amount every month, like her experience and her home screen should be completely different from Alex, who is a lawyer and is making X amount and has no debt, right? And so having that personalized UI and experience is what we're building towards.
Okay, rapid fire for you. What is some advice that you ignored when building Alinea Invest that has turned out to be true?
Start charging for your product. Like we took way too long to start charging for the product. At first, investors, like friends, were like, just put a price point to it. And we're like, no, we have to just get users, and then we'll figure out, like once they really love the product, then we'll figure out monetization. But actually, you figure out so much more through monetization. Like we launched so many different things that people didn't want to pay for until we've cracked what they were willing to pay for. And then we were able to build a better experience through that. So start charging as early as possible.
I remember that moment when you guys turned on the subscription. I feel like that was a big moment for the business. And it's so true. Like people just like looking around, or are they like actually willingness to pay? Like, do they want this product? So that's great advice. Okay, what has been your secret to getting past imposter syndrome? Because I feel like, especially as younger founders, I imagine there may have been a lot of imposter syndrome early on. So how did you work past that?
It's great to have a co-founder that's in the same seat as you. And we've been doing this and we've been working on this for so long. And so we get to vent to each other about like, oh, this guy just raised so much more money, even though we're ahead of him. We really get to be together on this. And so having Anam by my side has been what gets me through.
Very important what co-founder you choose.
Very important what co-founder you choose.
What woman has been the biggest advocate for you and your career?
Oh, you know who has been like super, especially in the last few years, last 2 years, I want to say, has like really been like a powerhouse woman, but like pushing us and really advocating for us is Jessica Kamada. She's one of our investors.
Love Jess.
Yeah. She's been a huge advocate for us, to other investors, to other people in the brother community.
Yeah. She has like super fans out there in the world. Yeah, she really does. And her new fund, Swizzle Ventures, is amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then finally, what impact do you want to leave for the next generation of women?
I was just talking to someone about this yesterday. It's not like fundraising that excites you, right? As a founder, it's like sitting in the subway and seeing a younger woman have Alinea on her phone. And that's the impact I want to have, is like make sure that like every young woman, every young person in America gets to have Alinea as a tool for creating generational wealth and starts investing a small amount every single week, every single month. Like it's really not that complicated. It's really not that hard. It's just about setting it up and then like forgetting about it. And that's the habit that I want like to create for this next generation, is that everyone just sets up an Alinea account and starts automating their investments and starts putting a small amount every week into the stock market for it to grow.
Yeah. So huge. And like a big reason of why I was so excited to invest in you guys, because genuinely like the impact you're making is so massive and it's so cool to be a small part of that.
And it's amazing to see, like we have customers who are putting $10,000 a day into the stock market, into like automating it. And we have some customers who are putting $1 a day. But I think the habit that we've been able to create is that it's like recurring investment, this dollar cost averaging into the stock market, and they're seeing their money compound over time. And like that's such an incredible feeling, an incredible thing to give to other people.
And it's so important to know that you can start really, really small. Like I actually wish I had had Alinea Invest in like high school or middle school and like had put my cousin, actually, he was so smart. He started investing like, I don't know, like maybe when he was like 12 and like was, you know, like I wish I had been doing that. And now I feel like it's so possible with a tool like Alinea Invest to get started. Like put a little bit of your allowance into the stock market and watch that grow over time and learn along the way. And it's just so powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, finally, where can everyone find you and Alinea Invest? And then I also feel like you guys are always hiring for a number of things. So any exciting roles that you want to call out as well?
Yeah, so you can find Alinea online at alinea-invest.com. We are on Instagram at Alinea Invest, on TikTok, we're all over. On the App Store, Alinea Invest, we're always on the top 100 of the finance charts. And we are hiring for leadership roles in the technical department. So we're looking for really good engineers. We're looking for great growth and marketers in-house. So reach out to us if you are interested.
Amazing. Well, Eve, the best. Finally having you, seeing you in person, having you back on the show. This has been so fun. So thank you for coming back on.
Thank you.